good morning. Welcome to the Don Bird Morning Show. I am always happy to be here, guys. This is a glorious day in September, guys. But of course, with my excitement and my enthusiasm, it is quickly brought down by some somber news. Of course, today is September 11th, 2025, which marks 24 years since September 11th, 2001. I think I looked similar. I think I looked better today than I did that day. But I was a young man, 19 years old, a junior in college, everything in front of me. I'm thinking that the world is one way. And guys, of the 7 billion people here, 8 billion people, there's just going to be some bad actors. We got to understand that. And it's very difficult to reconcile that fact with your ethos, with how you approach life. But that's not the case for some people. And today being the September 11th, 2025, we're now 24 years beyond that fateful Tuesday morning, if I remember correctly. Yesterday we had a tragedy happen in our country. And it is very sad to me when I think about the reality and the finality of this situation. And Charlie Kirk, a conservative commentator, the founder of Turning Points USA, a young organization, go look him up. It's hard to define who he is. He wasn't a politician, but he spoke to the president. He helped the president get elected. He had young people's ear. And he was a debater. He wanted to talk about things. And sometimes, people don't like truth because the way he would say things was a little bit incendiary and provocative, of course. But I'm not here to give you an opinion on Charlie Kirk. I've watched his videos. I know who he is. I knew who he was before he died. I was shocked to have seen him having passed away yesterday at such a young age of 31. But so as I start off today saying it is glorious, it is unfortunately a bit of a somber day for us all here in this country, and that's what we're here to talk about on the morning show today. I hope my audience can appreciate where I am with that. I wanted to address it. If you check out my YouTube, I released a video of me addressing the situation and Charlie and the division that we face here in this country. And we need to be thinking about that. But the mic's never off. I'm always here, guys. I want you to know that I'm always here. And, of course, we are live from Birdhouse Riverside Studios. And I want to help you finish your last 1%. That's what this show mainly is about. Execution season, guys. This is the execution season. I want you to get involved. I'm going to be doing a lot this fall, guys. We got speaking engagements, private events. We have a lot of things happening. The last mile retreat, guys, I want you to get involved. Check out the links in the description. DM me. Check out my socials. We're going to be talking about the last mile retreat so much. We're going to be talking about what's going on November 14th, 15th, and 16th in Philadelphia at Birdhouse Riverside, guys. It is our place to be. It is my tie was acting a little weird. It's our place. We're gonna be in the building. We're gonna be helping you finish your last 1%. I want to get you there. I want to help you get there. We're gonna be doing so much there. I'm gonna be talking about it a lot, guys. And I want you to drop your wins in the chat. Join our community, guys. Get involved with the show. We are going to be building our audience up. We're building our we're just building so much, guys. And I want you to get involved on the ground floor. While I'm here, guys, give me my flowers, right? Unfortunately, we saw what happened to Charlie Kirk yesterday, and it's very sad I think of my own self and my own mortality when I think about speaking out. And I love this country so much because we can speak out. We can get on this microphone and say what we want to say, right? The government can't stop us, but a bullet surely can. A bullet to your neck can stop you from talking. And basically, that makes speech not lawful or not possible, free speech. And then we don't know if the government is involved with silencing the speech with bullets. We don't know that. We don't have any idea of how that works. We don't know if it's an organized entity. I don't want to say it's the current administration. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is it an operative? The FBI doesn't know anything about this individual, so I don't know anything. I'm here in Philadelphia. That happened in Utah, but the point is, we do not know if speech can get you killed. We have a problem here in this country. We do. You don't know who's doing the killing. This man is not in custody, so we don't know any levels of motive or reasoning behind what we saw yesterday. We don't know. We don't know who did this. We don't know if it's one bad actor. We don't know if it's an organization. But this was to send a message. I mean, if anybody's looking at this and doesn't see war written all over it, I mean, what is war then? If that's the case, then we never are in war, because war is a skirmish at some level because it's a battle that's happening, but it's a battle that is so much bigger than the battle that you see, right? If you take out Charlie Kirk with a bullet to the neck at a rally in public, you are severing the head of a high-ranking individual on the opposing side at some level if they start looking at it like that, right? You got the president of the United States, the vice president. You have operatives. You have people. You have generals, but not military generals. You have political generals. You have field generals. We are treading on precarious waters, guys, which leads me to my first cannon drop. Do not overplay your hand. This is key. What I've seen in this country, unfortunately, is the overplaying of our hand. We overplay our hand too much. And if you play poker enough, you'll learn what overplaying your hand actually means. Because overplaying your hand people think, what is overplaying your hand? Let's break it down. Let's break down what overplaying your hand is. In fact, let's ask Google and chat to help us out as we think through this. Because I want to ask the question, what is overplaying your hand? Let's read it so we can know. I'm going to explain it to you, but I also want to just be able to refer to something and read it so I don't lose track. But yes, overplaying your hand. Now, usually overplaying your hand happens when you have a good hand, right? Now, you can't really overplay a bad hand. When you overplay a bad hand, that means you're just a bad player, right? If you have bad cards and you overplay those cards, is it any better than normally playing those cards? I mean, you can't really normally play bad cards. You're either overplaying them or you're folding them, right? But so I guess technically you can overplay bad cards, but you'd be an idiot. Overplaying your hand is when you believe the cards you're holding or the position you're in is stronger than it actually is. That's the key, is you think your position is stronger than it actually is in real life. But in your perception, you can't see that, right? So when you're playing poker and you have a good hand and you overplay it, what happens? Well, you will be sadly mistaken and disappointed when you turn over your cards at the end. Now, like I said, there are two places that you can overplay your hand. You can overplay a mediocre hand, but you also can overplay a very good hand. Two interesting distinctions. If you overplay a very good hand, you're not going to get much from it. So you can't play too hard with a full house or aces from the beginning or anything that looks super good that you can't lose at. Because the whole point of betting is the chance that you could win. And if you take away the chance that someone can win, they're not going to bet with you. So two ways you can overplay your hand, right? Bet too big, too fast, too often. And in doing so, you ultimately either reveal weakness or lose leverage. You lose leverage with your aces, you reveal weakness with your mediocre hand, right? And you lose out on what could happen in later betting rounds if you would have just, played it cool, right? It really is about overestimating your position, really trying to force a win. You're trying to overplaying your hand is when you want to force something to happen right away. You want it to happen when you want it to happen. That's what it is. And it takes practice to not do it, because when you first see that hand and your position and you internalize it, you believe it's great. The first blush is like, this is amazing. But you have to have some experience so that you can learn how to take it slowly, right? Timing, pacing is everything. In the game of life, timing and pacing is so much more important than intensity, speed, power, strength. Timing and pacing. And the point is about pacing, not overplaying your hand, is I'm going to take it slowly because I want to give you the experience of playing too. You have to have the experience of feeling like you can win, or you're going to fold, or you're going to show me that you might have a better hand than me. That's the other thing. Imagine you overplaying your hand and having a worse hand than somebody who's playing conservatively or regularly. Can you imagine the horror that you're going to feel when you turn your cards over and they have a basic, or not a basic hand, but a good hand that they treat it like a normal hand, and you have a normal hand that you treat it like a great hand? That's how your poker games will generally go if you play like that. Now, why am I telling you this whole story? Here's the thing, guys. In this country, we have to understand that we may have pushed too hard. We may have pushed too far, right? And hard to make these comments considering the circumstances, not only of our nation, but of our individuals. People who are working class, who are struggling to make ends meet, and to consider that with the history that we've experienced here in this country and the economic headwinds and just theft that we've experienced is hard to square with what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that we have to learn how to live together, right? It's not our way or the highway. It's not black people's way. It's not gays. It's not Hispanics or minorities or any person that is in the minority. It's none of that, right? Now, we have to use our position and our history and our needs to get what we want and need from the society, but we have to understand where we might be just overplaying what we think we have in the justice claim. What the justice claim doesn't justify laughing on TikTok about Charlie Kirk. That's not appropriate. In no way is this behavior something that is becoming of anybody that should be calling themselves American. And we have to understand that while we might have been harmed in our country and severely damaged based on the economic realities of the world and of this country, that still doesn't give us license to just behave immorally or to disregard families and their feelings and human life. So, I say all that to say it's interesting to consider what we are doing in this country and how divided we are becoming based on very hard to explain dynamics that we need to be able to understand and unpack with each other. Because if we are on the road to political violence, and if we are on the road to indiscriminate killings, extrajudicial killings in the street, and I don't really know where that leaves us as a country, guys. Scary, though, to be in public spaces and places, especially once you get on TV and you have a name that people know. Well, you can't. Charlie Kirk was as protected as you could be at some level without, having a 500-yard perimeter or a perimeter 500 yards away from where he was, armed guards patrolling that perimeter and screening the people who are coming in and out. It's very difficult to secure an open venue of that nature, first of all. And then you're going to start seeing less people are going to want to do things outdoors at this point, because now if you're a target and you're outdoors, they can get you. Like, it's not even a thing at this point. If you are a target and they want you, you can be had. So you're not safe. No security can protect you. If they shot the president of the United States, then they can shoot anybody. All right. That's how you have to understand it. And that's how it is. Donald Trump got shot last summer in the ear. And I don't know what to make of it. I surely would not be protected speaking on a platform in an open field. There's no way. So we do need to understand those things. Stop going all in, guys, on shaky things. And the point of this, I wanted to bring that up in the way of what we're talking about. We have to come back to the table and play fairly at some level. Play fairly with dignity and purpose. And we will be able to secure what we want, but we have to do it in that way, guys. But don't overplay in your hand. One of the cannons is designed to help you stop going all in on things you haven't studied. Home, a car, a house, a job, a relationship, people, friends, businesses, investments. I want you to think of a major move you made in life before you truly understood the game. All right. Now, I know some of you are going to try to be funny and say marriage, but that's not what we're talking about here. And that also takes work, right? And understanding of what you're doing and what the task at hand is. The danger of overcommitting before you've done the requisite work is listen, it's big time. And we like to look at things through poker and investing and careers, which helps us synthesize and relate to these things and moves. So, but I want you to connect it to the idea of patience and skill building and knowing when to fold and knowing when to push forward. See, you stop overplaying your hand when you get more comfortable with your skills. When you're more comfortable with your skill set, you have no need and desire to overplay your hand, because you already know that the longer the game, the better for you, the better off you'll be, because you can't be beaten if you play, right? Now, anything can happen through the course of a game, but if you give me enough time, you can't play with me. And that's when you are skilled. That's when you are patient. And that's when you become successful. So this is all about patience, positioning, and timing. Even our precarious position in this country is about patience and timing, and also education and knowledge and unification, so that we can start to become more prosperous and to receive and reap the benefits of all the work we've done here in this country. And that's what I'm here to do, is be that bridge. I want to talk more about that as we go forward. But yeah, we got a lot planned for you today. Quickly, we are talking about so yeah, anyway, I'm just looking at my notes here. Sorry for the dead air, right? We're talking about the execution office. We're talking about again, we said don't overplay your hand. We're talking about execution. When you get good at execution, you stop worrying about, you stop lurching, you stop overplaying, you stop thinking and guessing and wondering, and just play the game. Just execute. When you can execute, you become calm. And execution takes practice, it takes work and repetition. But no, anyway, I want to be a reminder to you to look into the retreat. The last mile retreat is happening, guys. I want you to get in on this. It's November 14th, 15th, and 16th. We are going to be having a great show, a great time with great people. Yours truly hosting and presenting and performing, of course. We are going to have so much to do there. We are finishing the last 1%, guys. We are finishing our projects this year. We are finishing everything that we can, everything that we need to. We are finishing. So yeah, guys, listen. Let's go. We are out here. We are going to be reaching out to mainline businesses. I am excited about that, guys. Next week, we are compiling our list right now. We are going to be reaching out to businesses, letting them know who we are, what we do, why we are calling them, how we'd like to collaborate. We're going to be offering them collaboration, but we're also going to be offering them ad space on this show right here, the Don Bird Morning Show. But we're also going to be offering them ad space in what? The magazine, the Bridge magazine, guys. Listen, I'm gonna show you the magazine again, guys. I thought I had it here, but that's the book cover. But the magazine, guys, will be out next Monday, September 15th. We are so excited about all the things that we've been working on, all the things that we have been doing. We're going to be offering ad space right here on this show. I want to talk to the local businesses so that they can help me help them, right? We are going to be ambassadors for them, talking to them directly about their business and about how we can help them drive business to their store. So this is the space right here for our business spotlight segment. We're going to be featuring a local business each day. And we're going to give a quick 60 to 90-second shout out, tell you what they do, why they matter, why they're here. And that'll be a nice way to get connected. All right, collaborate. All right, so you're going to be able to get on this show and you'll be able to get in the quarterly magazine, the main line, the Bridge magazine that we have produced, our family, the Bird family. We are so excited about everything we're doing, guys. So, today is September 11th, 2025. Unfortunately, we have some somber news today about Charlie Kirk. But as we keep our show moving, guys, we are in our Men for Freedom segment. Men for Freedom stands for masculine energy necessary. First of all, masculine energy, the more and more work I do, guys, on masculine energy, it is so necessary. When you hear these feminists talking about, oh, we don't need men, I laugh. I laugh at women that say they don't need men. And then I dare them to not be around men. They can't do it if they're a woman, right? If they're being counterculture and defiant, you can do anything you want. You can go in solitary confinement. It doesn't matter. But what I'm saying is masculine energy is so necessary in every situation. Feminine energy, obviously, is very, very necessary, but it's just different. It's different. It's different. All right. You need one masculine energy force in a room is equivalent to 50 feminine energies. You don't need a singular feminine energy force, you know. In fact, you need more feminine energy than you need masculine energy to to equal the same field, right? The same response. If you had 50 women in a room and one man with masculine energy walked in, all is good. 2 men, let's give them 2. But if you have 50 men in a room and one woman walked in, it's not going to be good because she doesn't have enough energy to give to all those men. They can't thrive off of that, right? You really kind of can't. You would need at least 10 women in that room to at least quell the energy, okay? And generally, it works better when you have more women than men, just naturally. So, masculine energy necessary for faith and finance, fitness and family, respect, economics, entertainment, dating, offspring, and marriage. All of this is what we talk about, and that's what Men for Freedom stands for, and what we'd like to be about, and that's what we're talking about. So it's our men's corner. All right, we got 10 pillars. All right, and today we are focused on respect. Now, the reason why I chose respect is that, we have a day now. Unfortunately, Charlie Kirk was assassinated yesterday. And then we have the anniversary of September 11th. So really respecting and showing reverence for the day and just thinking about what respect means. Respect is earned. And it's structured. All right? It's never just given. You can't people just don't give respect. I mean, they do because they respect themselves at some level. But you ever talk to someone who's being nice, just being naturally nice, but then you get into like some real conversation, they cut the shit and you start like getting right to it. Like if your dentist office calls you, or your doctor's office calls you, or you're talking to somebody at the store. I mean, it just doesn't matter. But let's just say, oh, hey, how you doing? I'm fine. Well, all those things. What do you get into talking? What do you need? How the thing is, people take back their respect pretty quickly. But the nominal respect, it's earned. You earn a level of respect. It's just not thrown around and given. And if you lose respect, you'll learn it quickly because you'll learn how ungiven and guaranteed respect is. So, as men, we have to earn and protect respect. First, you earn your respect by putting the work in, guys. Get your education. Be a stand-up person. Have integrity. Stay fit. Get your money together. Keep your name and your hands clean. That's how you earn respect. Then you protect it. How? Well, first of all, you don't let anybody disrespect you. Don't allow yourself to be disrespected or without response or retaliation. First things first. Don't allow people to disrespect you. Secondly, protect it so much that you won't even put yourself in a position to be disrespected. You see, don't think you're so big and bad and tough that you can walk in the den of iniquity, the den of thieves, where you know they're going to disrespect you. And if you think you're not going to be disrespected, then you already have calculated that wrong. So 2 things. Don't allow people to disrespect you, and then don't put yourself in a position to be disrespected. And then lastly, respect yourself. But you have to protect it, because if you don't, no one will respect you. So no one's going to protect your respect, but no one is going to respect you either. So we're going to talk a lot about respect. We're talking about it from a masculine perspective, but we need to respect each other here in this country as well. We need to respect different views, other people, other citizens for sure, and respect our country, our laws, respect God by not murdering people at some level, right? We got to think about what this means for us. Um, so that's where we are, and we're here at our next Cannon Drop. All right, so we like to talk about a couple of things each segment, each show, and today our two cannons. The first one was don't overplay your hand. Today, the second cannon is revaluing labor, and I think that's what we have to solve the economic crisis in our country before we can start talking about social things and healing. Because I think what people see, and this is why, we're doing all the work we're doing from BirdBrand and all the things we're talking about, the Bridge magazine, is because we want to translate to the people in power what the true situation is here on the ground. And in order to understand it, it's the economics. It's the economics that doesn't allow for us to hear the other conversation. And that's the starting stakes at some level. The starting stakes are we have to make each other whole economically. We live in the richest country in the world and we're lacking resources in certain areas. I don't understand it, right? I call myself an economist, an investor. I'm a financial expert, and I don't understand why we're in the situation we're in. We have a lot of capital here in this country that doesn't move. It's just stagnant. And then we have the money that's moving between the people who are struggling to survive. So we have to revalue our country. We have to revalue labor. You are essential. That's the other thing. You're an essential person and you're an essential worker. Now, what does that mean to you? Here's the problem. They haven't priced you correctly. Your labor, your person, your body, your contribution has not been valued correctly. That's why I wrote this book. Right? That's why I wrote the book, Revaluing America, because if we don't understand value, we'll never understand what's going on here in this country. And labor and skill are worth more than the market pays you. That's the first thing. Having you at the ready every day at 8 o'clock in the morning, guaranteed to show up through 5 p.m., already familiar with the institution, the organization, the company, that alone is worth something. But we don't know how to value it. We haven't had the value discussion. We haven't had the convention on valuation. No one's been talking about valuation really since. And if you want to get into some Keynesian economics and some free market theory, here's some free market theory for you. The free market doesn't work in this respect. The people who would like you to believe that the free market is going to rightly value labor and capital, it's a joke. While the markets matter and they help us level set, they cannot fix structural differences, especially major structural ones like humans and human capital and work. There's no way to arbitrage it. There's no way to capitalize on it. There's no way to stop it and start it. There's no way to extract the value, right? You can't take away the resource, right? You can, but that's what strikes are. And they seem to not like strikes. The port workers tried to strike. They don't like it. That's the only way you can help them see the true value is by going without it. Value is discovered in absence. I always tell my kids, do you find value in the heat being on here? Well, they kind of don't. But I bet you if I turned the heat off, they would then find major value in the heat being on. But see, when things are ubiquitous and always present and they are being taken for granted, it is very hard to ascertain value in that construct. So it's very important for us to understand that this is the question of our time. This is the heart of our book, Revaluing America. I want to show you that you create immense value, but you capture so little of it. You create so much value. In the book, I talk about the story of a sanitation worker during the strike of Philadelphia sanitation workers in the summer of 2025. Do you know how valuable sanitation workers are to our economy? You can't purchase more Amazon until the other Amazon packages have been picked up. You can't go to the supermarket and buy more food, clothing, anything really, until the trash people come and take the trash. And the trash comes at you fast. Before you know it, a week's worth of trash is filling up all your cans. Sanitation workers keep this big, massive economy going. They deal with the rain, the sleet, the snow, the people, the trash, the disease, the dirt. And we pay them next to nothing. And we pay them weekly. So we don't even have to give them much money up front. We pay them a certain amount of money each week. And that's what it costs us to keep this thing going. We need to think about it. Teachers, creatives. It's time to demand your worth. But see, in the book, I start with, it's hard to start talking. I like to think about it in two separate buckets. You have essential workers and skilled workers. Start there, because that's where the true value in America is. Because they can truly point to their value. They can come up with their value at some level from a mathematical perspective. So I just want to encourage you to, one, go get the book, read it. I like it. It was a good read for me. I've given it to some other people. They liked it. It's not terribly long. Even though it seems thick, I wrote it in a way that easy read through the pages, not all this text just shoved on a page. And go get the book. Go get the book and engage with us, guys. Revalue America. Revalue yourself. We're going to be talking a lot about this, guys. So anyway, guys, listen, I have not built in any breaks. I'm going to start building in some breaks, but no one's watching yet anyway, so it's okay. We don't have to worry. We do not have to worry about that, all right? So here we are. We're just rolling through the show. We got an Eagles game coming up this weekend, guys. Sunday. The Kansas City Chiefs take on the Philadelphia Eagles in Kansas City. So we are going to be excited for that. Listen, we are ready for the Eagles to win another game. We already beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Wow. We played them in 2 out of the last 3 Super Bowls. That's a pretty cool thing to say as an Eagles fan, guys. That is not our lives, and you know it. We did not live that life. But here we are. We've been in 2 out of the last 3 Super Bowls. We won the most recent one, so we are the Super Bowl champions. Love to say it. Love to hear it. Philly High School basketball. Shout out to the late, great Rasul Butler. All right, we're going to start talking about these names that live in history, in our streets, in our neighborhoods, in our courts, in our high schools. Rasul went to Roman Catholic High School. We were about the same age. I think he may have been a year or 2 older than me. As I would have it, I was usually the youngest person in my social setting and the oldest person in my family. So go figure. I learned a lot being the youngest person on the basketball court, though. You know, I learned a lot from these folks. And Rasul unfortunately passed away in 2018, guys. Car accident with his new wife. 7 years? Yeah, almost 8 years now. He died in January. 2 years before another high school basketball star here in the Philadelphia area, Kobe Bryant. We know Kobe Bryant became one of the greatest basketball players in the history of the league, in the world, right? One of the greatest NBA players of all time. Wow, right here from this area. Right here from my township, guys. I live in Lower Merion. And Kobe Bryant lived right here, right among us, went to Lower Merion High School, and He died in 2020. Still can't believe he is gone. Social media has helped keep his legacy alive. It feels like he's just the same as when he was before. I didn't know him then. I don't know him. And of course, he's dead now, but I didn't, I didn't know him before. So to me, it's very similar, when I see his picture and hear his voice. But I want to bring back up those names, guys. Lionel Simmons, Donnie Carr, Kareem Towns. We're going to start reaching out to these folks. What are they doing, right? What are they doing? They want to work with us. Do they want to be involved in execution and capital management and empowerment and being that bridge? So here we are, guys. Listen, we've been going on the show. We're here 40 minutes now, guys. I'm about to close the show down. The mic is hot all week. It's structure over everything, guys. I am in my last 1% season. If you're ready to finish yours, I want you to join us, guys, at Birdhouse Riverside this November. And we're going to be talking about it November 14th, 15th, and 16th. We're going to be talking about this retreat, and we're going to be talking about how BirdBrand can be your outsourced execution office. All right, guys, check me out on YouTube. Join me tomorrow. It's Friday. We got our Friday show, our big Friday show. I love doing our show. We're going to be catching more people. Like, comment, subscribe down below. Listen, I want to start the conversation. And listen, guys, jump in, get involved. I'm so excited. I want you to be involved in our community, guys. This is the Don Bird Morning Show. The mic is always hot. It's never off. And I want you to join me tomorrow as we continue on being and building the bridge here in this country. I'm Don Bird. I'm your host. I will be